Today's reading from Wondrous Encounters by Richard Rohr is called "The Important Commandments Are Not Always Seen." He writes, "If you read the first reading from today's lectionary, you will note that it is from the Hebrew book of Leviticus 19 and sounds a bit like the more common version of the Ten Commandments that we all grew up with, and that is found in Exodus 20. Yet, it is also very different. In both places, there is a lot of verbiage before, during, and after, which makes the precise 10 commandments not so clear or apparent, and makes one wonder how God got it all written down on those tablets of stone that Moses was able to carry down a mountaintop. Maybe Moses had a donkey or a dolly. No wonder he broke them. The important gospel today is from Matthew 25, which is his final judgment scene. It seems to be placed in perfect juxtaposition to the 10 Hebrew commandments. They are like two bookends, revealing the beginning and conclusion of the great Judeo-Christian tradition, and even the task of the two halves of life. Leviticus begins with the clear goals and boundaries that are necessary for the sake of a moral and religious society, and the tangent is set in motion, and the final so-called golden rule. This all leads and develops to create the Jesus phenomenon, and what could well be called the Jesus commandments, which go far beyond mere boundary keeping to actually moving beyond all boundaries, to take care of those who did not make it, do not fit in, the outsider, the criminal, the vulnerable, and the weak. It is quite a leap, which, to be honest, many Christians have never made. You could obey the 10 Commandments perfectly all your life and never come close to the mark that Jesus sets for us at the final judgment. Yet the promise and seed is entirely there in Leviticus 19:18. You must love your neighbor as yourself. That final leap that Jesus makes is even more astounding. He not only creates a moral equivalence between me and my neighbor, but finally between my neighbor and God. What we do to others, even the least of the others, we do to God, he says. It is almost too much to comprehend, and surely leaves all of us among the goats. Today, let's ask ourselves, are we doing to our neighbors as we would truly do to God? Would we treat our neighbors with the same loving care and adoration that we would treat God if he were standing here with us today? And if not, can we try a little harder?